I previously reviewed the Sony's latest flagship device, the Sony XPERIA XZ2. Well, today I've got my hands on the smaller brother. This is the Sony XPERIA XZ2 Compact. So this is the smaller flagship device by Sony. You have almost identical features as the bigger one, such as HDR display, Snapdragon 845, motion eye camera, 4K HDR, IP68 waterproof, and lots more. The only thing missing in the compact model is Sony's dynamic vibration and wireless charging. So let's begin with a very quick unboxing. So this is everything you get in the box, beginning with the user manual. We have a USB-C charging cable, a 3.5mm audio adapter, which means there is no audio jack on this smartphone. So we have a USB power brick here, and last but not least, the smartphone itself. So I'll put the specs on the screen so you guys can have a quick read. So we have a 5-inch 1080p HDR display with 483 pixels per inch. You have a tall 18:9 aspect ratio with a resolution of 2160 by 1080. So the display itself looks very nice. You have a tall aspect ratio and it does feel quite nice in the hands. It's good to look at and it's compact in size. I have not seen or used a small smartphone for a very long time. Now the screen quality is great. 1080p HDR does look very nice. You've got a high pixel per inch count. The screen is very nice and bright with vibrant colors, sharp details, and the viewing angles are also spot on. So this also comes with the Snapdragon 845 Octacore combined with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. You have a single camera on the back, which is Sony's motion eye 19MP shooter with an f2.0 aperture, supporting EIS and 4K HDR recording. And on the front we have a 5MP camera which can shoot a maximum of 1080p video with electronic image stabilization. Now the camera you get on this handset is exactly the same as you will find in the larger XZ2 model. Now this smartphone also supports dual nano SIMs. It's factory unlocked with Bluetooth version 5. Now the battery is going to be smaller as it's a smaller device. You have a 2870 mAh battery, and the smartphone also supports USB-C fast charging. Now you got IP68 waterproof certification, which means you can submerge this phone in up to 1.5 meters of water. Now this smartphone is made from a metal frame and you've got a plastic back with Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the front. Now plastic back means there is no fingerprints. Now durability wise, it doesn't creak, it doesn't feel cheap at all, so it still feels like a high quality premium Sony product. Now sticking with the theme of the bigger version, you've got the same curved corners and curved design. So now the design does look exactly the same as the larger model, but it's just a lot smaller. Now this smartphone weighs 168 grams and is 12mm thick. Now on the front we have a single 5MP camera with LED notification light and your front facing speaker, and for navigation you have your usual 3 on-screen touch buttons, back, home and menu. Now the fingerprint sensor is located on the back and it's quite easy to reach, and it does unlock the smartphone very fast and accurately every single time. Now at the bottom of the device we have a microphone and a USB-C charging port, and just above that we have another front-facing speaker, so you've got stereo front-facing speakers, and this smartphone also supports high-res audio. Now on the other side we have our volume rocker, power button, and a dedicated camera button. So you can press that camera button at any time and it will take you straight into camera mode, but the button will also act as a shutter button, so you can actually take pictures with that button. That makes things very convenient, and if you press it halfway, just like a digital camera, it will actually autofocus and then take a picture. So you're getting a very digital camera style of experience with this smartphone, and I do like that feature quite a bit. Now sticking with the theme of the smartphone, these buttons are also made from plastic. They don't wobble around and they feel quite nice to the touch. On the top of the smartphone we have what appears to be another microphone, and if we keep going, on the other side we have our SIM card tray, which doesn't need any eject tool. You can just pull it out. So you have a dual nano SIM card which can take 2 nano SIM cards, or 1 nano SIM card and 1 MicroSD card up to 400GB. So you do not have an audio jack on this smartphone, but an adapter is provided. So we have support for Netflix and YouTube HDR, so let's see how HDR content looks on this smartphone. So the maximum resolution supported is 1080p at 60 frames with HDR.
Destiny still arrive.
So I just signed into Netflix and we are going to test out some Netflix HDR. So if I just search, you can see over here it says HDR. So let's just play a few seconds to see how it looks.
Over there.
Now this is quite a powerful flagship device, so you can run more or less any big game with this with the graphics set on the highest position. So I have downloaded quite a few large games, so let's check them out and see how they play. So PUBG has automatically detected that this device can play this game in the highest settings. So let's proceed. Furthermore, you have a 2870 mAh battery, and this will give you realistically around 32 hours battery life and around 5 hours of on-screen time. Now I think this is quite good, especially for a handset of this size. Now this smartphone also supports fast charging, however a fast charger is not included in the box. So coming to the cameras, you have a 19 megapixel motion eye camera with 4K HDR movie recording and electronic image stabilization. On the front you have a 5 megapixel shooter which can record 1080p videos with electronic image stabilization. Now you do have a full featured camera with lots of options including manual mode, full superior auto mode, and you can take photos with bokeh effects, AR modes and 3D creator. Now let's check out a few camera samples. Meanwhile, I've already done a full 4K HDR camera test video and that is linked in the description box below. So I just shot a bokeh photograph here and you can adjust the slider to decide how much bokeh you need. So I'm shooting 4K with the brand new Sony camera. Now it's time to check out the results for all the various tests including Wi-Fi and benchmarks. So here is my top performing smartphone chart of 2018, showing you all the latest smartphones and seeing how they compare with each other. So this is my top 40 and the Sony Xperia XZ2 Compact has taken position 5 on this chart. You can view all my charts online at chicstech.com and read them at your leisure. So there you have it guys, that was the Sony Xperia XZ2 Compact. So this handset has exactly the same features as the full-size version minus Sony's dynamic vibration and wireless charging. And of course it's much smaller in size, hence smaller screen and battery. Now the performance with the Snapdragon 845 was super fast with a very nice screen with high pixels per inch. you have the same very nice front-facing speakers providing superb high-res sound quality. Now the compact has a plastic back and Gorilla Glass 5 on the front, and I have to say I actually really like the design. It feels comfortable in the hands, it's lightweight, not fingerprint prone, slightly thick at 12mm, but does not feel uncomfortable during everyday use. Fits in the pocket very nicely and gives a very powerful experience for a smartphone of this size. Now the compact is also jam-packed with a ton of great features. HDR content and games with high-res audio sound is just amazing. You have a great camera with superb slow-mo at 1080p, and the battery life was also quite impressive too. And with that being said, I will leave the links for this smartphone in the description box below, along with a separate 4K HDR video test and a few more useful links for you to check out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the compact version of this smartphone. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a brilliant day. See you in the next one, guys.